Hello students, how are you doing? I hope I'm audible. Okay, I'll share the screen. I hope that's okay. Give me 1 minute. Let me open the PowerPoint presentation and then I will share the screen. Okay. Are you all clear with the concepts of conditions, loops, before that, identifiers, data, uh, system defined functions, etc.? Any doubts to anybody? You can write it down in the chat. I don't mind to read the chat. I hope my screen is getting shared. Fine. And we are going to talk about a very important topic now. Now, that is nothing but collections. Okay. Have I spoken with you about the list before? Do you all remember? Have I spoken with you about the list at any moment? Do you remember? Yes, no. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, let's start now. I've shared my screen and I have shared my the Jupyter notebook also, right? And I hope you all can see this. I will just make it bigger, okay? Or I'll be doing zoom in. I will. Okay. I hope my screen is shared. I'll be showing you the PPT also. That's not a problem. Fine. We have talked about this. Okay, all these things we have talked about. I hope you all remember all these things, right? And not an issue with you all, right? And we spoke, and I hope you know that I'm continuing with the same Jupyter notebook, so that what is happening, all the things are at one place, and just every time I'm renaming the Jupyter notebook file, and I hope you must have noticed that, and this must have been useful to you. You can write it down in the chat, whatever you want to say or you feel about it. Okay. We spoke about the different types of loops, and they are nothing but the while loop and the for loop. Only two loops are there, to be very frank. Okay. And we are able to give the loops inside loop. Okay. But we will talk about that maybe in some days time. Okay. So we will proceed. Yeah. And one more thing here, we talked about the list. Okay, and we spoke about that. If suppose I have got a list containing the number of elements, you can see here, say apple, banana, cherry, or I might have apple, banana, cherry, mango. Okay, then that time what is going to happen here? It is going to traverse that particular list and going to show you the number of, or the fruits that are there, or the elements that are there. I'm not talking about the fruits only over here. I can write down something about, say, cars, or maybe some tech gadgets. Not necessarily I will be talking about the fruits. And I can give here the sorry, the name as elements. Now I would just show you one more thing, and then I will go to the PPT. That would be better for me also and for you also. So you can see here, if I am giving here, say A, then B, then I'm writing down here car, then I'm writing down here, sorry, I'm writing down here, say mobile, I'm writing down here, say laptop. Okay, in addition to that, if I write it down, some fruits names. Okay, so these are the fruit names. Now, what is here am I talking about? I'm talking about the number of elements that are the part of this particular identifier. I will not say that this is the list at this moment. I will not say that. Why? Because we don't know the list yet. Okay. But I hope you know and you remember that we can give the element something like this. Okay. Or we can give the element something like this. Or we can give the element something like this. Obviously, they have got the different data types, right? So here it is integer. Oh, sorry. this is float, right? And here we are talking about the bool or boolean, right? In addition to that, suppose I give here, say, Python. I can give it in single quote or double quote. I hope you remember all these things, right? You can write it down in the chat, whatever you feel. Now, whenever you talk about, this is nothing but the string. Okay. So whenever you talk about these elements, they are not collections at all. Okay. Because why I'm saying this? Because we spoke that we are going to cover the collections today. Or rather, we are going to start with the collections today. It is really not possible to cover them in one session. So the sessions would get continued. Okay. So we will be talking mainly and mostly about the list today. Fine. So here these are the elements that you can see, and they have been given as integer, float, bool, string, etc. I want to print them. Okay, no problem. I can print them. But I hope you remember that whenever I am going to write it down something like this, okay, what is going to happen? It's going to display that particular element in such a way. Just a minute. Why has it been scrolled down? Okay, it is not going to print the things. But suppose if I write it down here, print A. Okay, here I am going to write it down, print B. Here I am going to write it down, print C, and maybe print D. Forget about that. Okay, currently, and then we will get the output. I think this has come as the, and give me 1 minute. What is it showing? Create a duplicate of this cell now. Why is it like? Okay, fine. I'll just copy it and paste it in the below cell. Let's see. Okay, and now I'll try to execute. Just a minute, huh? I'll have to check whether my Jupyter notebook has to be reloaded or what.
Start the kernel, ma'am. It will work out.
Sorry?
Restart the kernel. Go to the kernel.
But no. Actually, I feel that my internet is giving a problem or what? Because see, this is session 6 i.ipynb file. It's just getting rotated. I'll just try, otherwise I'll restart. Don't worry. Give me 1 minute, huh?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you for the response. So nice of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
See, this is still rotating. I hope I am audible, right? So my internet won't be a problem. Must not be a problem, I meant to say. What's happening? Okay, let's see. Yes. Discuss. Save. Save. Fine. Give me 1 minute, huh? I've just stopped sharing. Give me 1 minute. Don't worry. Okay. Until then, can you speak to me regarding the loops? Can anybody speak to me regarding loops? What all the things we have studied until now? I hope I'm audible. Can you please, anybody tell me the difference between the for loop and the while loop? You can write it down in the chat. I don't mind at all. Can you please tell me about until my Jupyter Notebook get started. I hope my screen is shared now. Let's see now. My program is gone. Fine, no problem. It must not have saved. Okay, no problem. Not an issue. Okay, so we were talking about the various elements I had created. Okay, so now I will make it quick. Okay, I will not give more time on it because we have talked about it. Okay, so I will say here, say whatever things are there around me, I'm just typing them down. Don't worry about that. Okay, and suppose I will be writing down, say, a fruit name also, because we were talking about the fruits in the beginning, right? And then I told here that we have given this as a collection, but what is not a collection, that we have to understand, right? So whenever I am giving here, say, x equal to 3 and y equal to 4, and whenever I am saying that print x, suppose x and y are x comma y, fine, and I'll try to execute this, yes, fine. Now it is giving me error, no problem. I always say दाग अच्छे होते हैं वैसे error अच्छे होते हैं, okay, because I haven't given here comma. Fine, but it is working at this moment, so the Jupyter Notebook is not giving the problem anymore, right? So these are nothing but the elements, they are not the collections. This is integer, but if I say here, say z equal to 9.7, if I am saying p equal to true, okay, all these things are nothing but the various data types. But then what do you mean by this particular element whenever I am saying that element as an identifier? Here it is talking about the different data types here. Okay, I spoke about this 6.7. I can speak about, say, 100. Okay, and there are some random elements. Some of them I'm talking about, they are floats, some of them are bull, some of them are integers, some of them are the strings, something like that, right? And whenever I want to display this particular the elements that are present in elim is my variable. Okay, you can see here this has been displayed like this. Now, what is the difference between two? Here, whenever I am speaking about these things, say 3, 4, 9.7, true, etc., etc., okay, they were just the identifiers. Okay, and they were having single value in those particular identifiers. But whenever I'm speaking about this is nothing but the combination of lots of data types that are part of this elim as my identifier or variable. Okay, so now I will tell you that this is known as the collection. Fine. Why is it known as a collection? Because we are talking about collective elements, collective data types that are part of one group. This is something like one group talking about the different types of data types, but they have been given under one, say, umbrella. Okay, so this is something like collection. Okay, and these are nothing but the single variables or single, we can say, the identifiers containing single data type. Okay, so please keep it in mind, they won't be my collections, but this would be my collection. Okay, so we are going to talk about such type of collections, and not only list, we are going to talk about tuples, dictionaries, and sets over the period of time. I hope you all are ready with this. Okay, now I'll just share my ppt, the one which I showed you in the beginning, Okay, so this is seventh lecture, and we are going to talk about the collection. So there are four type of collections. So I told you what is not a collection and what is a collection. I hope you all are clear with it, and I made it clarified to you all. Okay, so list is a collection which is ordered and changeable, allows duplicate members. Okay, and they are mutable also. This is very important point we should talk about. Okay, so if suppose I am going to talk about this particular, oh, this particular data type, okay, as collection as list. Okay, so they are mutable also. So this mutability is very important. Why is it like that? Because when you talk about the list, you can make the changes in them. You can add the element, you can update the element, you can delete the element. Okay, now last time when I spoke to you, if you remember, suppose these are my elements, and if I want to delete it, if I write it down here, delete X. Okay, and after that, if I give the value, if I am asking it to execute the value of X, it won't give me anything. It will say name X is not defined. But if I give here Y and execute, it will give me the value of Y as something like 4, which has been given over here. So whenever we delete the identifier, okay, say X or Y, the value is removed from it. And obviously the value is removed and that element is also not there. It says, it gives me the name error that name X is not defined. But why? Yes, it is showing me the value. So in the same manner, whenever we are talking about the list, okay, their mutability is very important whenever we say. Fine. When we talk about the tuples, they are ordered and unchangeable. Now, why unchangeable? Because they are immutable, right? So they talk about the immutability means we are not allowed to make the changes in the tuples. Okay, and obviously duplicate members are allowed. And when you talk about the dictionaries, it talks about the key value pairs. Okay, all these things would come later in the later part of the presentation. That's not a problem, but at this moment I feel that this is very important to tell you. That's why I'm typing this down. Okay, so here when you speak about this key value pair, okay, so you must have heard about Hadoop, that is big data Hadoop, and we can store our data in the Hadoop distributed file system. And MapReduce is a paradigm, okay, which allows us to write down the programs for maybe analyzing the big data, etc., etc. You must have heard about. If not, you can search it later on simultaneously if you have time. Okay. So what is happening there in that MapReduce? We write down the that particular data. Okay, in MapReduce, the data is recognized by key value pair. So these dictionaries play a very important role that way. One more important point is there with respect to list and dictionary is whenever you are going to learn the data analytics in your later part of life in the future, okay, whenever you are going to make use of pandas as the library, okay, I hope you know the library or the module. We have talked about the math module, if you remember, okay. Any other module we have spoken about? Can you please remind me on that? Have we spoken about any other module up till now other than math module? Today, why there is no response? I'm feeling very isolated. Especially, I suppose, okay, we haven't spoken about any other, but math module we have spoken about, right?
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. And others, I saw Vaishali's name on my screen, so I took her name. But Yamuna can also speak, Kavya can also speak, and even Praveen and Devendra, everybody can speak. Okay. It is really not possible for me to take everybody's name. Okay. So you can speak and you please respond to me. So, Whenever we talked about the math module in the same manner, there is a pandas module which talks about the data analytics. Okay, that much I can tell you at this moment, to be very frank. Okay, so there also we are going to make use of the list and the dictionaries. Fine, and you are going to use them. Fine. So now, what do you mean by the list creation? A list is created by placing all the items inside a square bracket. So I hope you remember that we had created a list here. Oh, where is my screen? Yeah. Fine. I hope both the screens are available to you. So here we can see that a list is created by placing all the items inside a square bracket. Okay, separated by commas, right? And it can have any number of items, and that's what I was just adding them and adding them and adding them, and I created some around what, more than 6 elements, and there are around 9 elements currently. Fine. So say if I'm saying list equal to 1 2 3, list with same data type list, we can have say 1 hello 3.4 or something like that also. Okay, that has been given in this particular slide, and that is very important to know. Fine. Now, how to access the items from the list? Okay, so we need to understand the indexing. Always keep it in mind. The indexing starts from, in case of list, even we saw it in case of for loop, it starts from 0. Okay, so this is my 0th element, this is my first element, this is second, this is third, etc. Always keep it in mind like that. Okay, but whenever I want to get the elements from the rear side, I meant to say the back side, this is my forward side or the front side, and this is my rear side or the back side, then I am going to give the elements by using -1. So let's see that. I would just execute it. Okay, give me 1 minute. So I'll say I want to display them. Okay, I can see here, and you all also can see, I suppose. I hope it's visible enough, right? And now if I say ELEM of say 1, what did I tell you? It starts from 0. So what must be the output here? If I execute this, what would be the
X,
output?
ma'am.
X or 1? Why? Because I told you
So,
all, no? It starts from 0. So this is 0,
Y.
this is 1. So whenever I'm going to execute, it would be Y. Because this is my 0th element, this is my first, this is my second, this is my third, etc. But if I suppose I'm talking about element of -1, what did I tell you? It starts whenever we want to look at the elements from the rear side. Okay, then that time it is -1, this is -2, this is -3, this is -4, etc., etc. Okay, so when I'm going to execute this, I'm going to get the value as true. So I hope you understood that the elements have been displayed in, they have been indexed in such a way that it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Though now you might have a doubt, there are 9 elements. Madam said before some time. Yes, I said it, that there are 9 elements, but as they are starting from 0th element, there would be 8 elements in total. Yes or no? Got it,
yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
that's good. Okay, thank you so much for the response. So here, if I'm going to say here, say element of 3, can anybody please tell me what would be the outcome?
Python.
Python. Okay, so here whenever I'm going to write it down, it would be Python. Okay, so this would get executed like this. Fine. Now we'll just have a look at the thing that has been given over here, that list of 2, print list of 2. Yeah, whatever has been given in the slide, either you can give here like this, okay, without print, or you can give with print. But please keep it in mind, if suppose you are printing it something like this, give me 1 minute, element of say 5, and then element of -3. Okay, please keep it in mind, the latest one would get executed and not the prior one. Okay, so here I'll just show you, this is -3, right? So -1, -2, -3. So that's the, we can say, the drawback. If suppose you are trying to give the two commands in one cell in Jupyter Notebook, I'm talking about, okay, then, and if you are giving them without print, okay, then what is going to happen, you know, it's not going to print the prior one, and it is going to print the later one. So please have the habit of giving it with print. So that's what has been given in the slide which we are currently referring to. Can you see that? And I hope you understood that here why the fifth element is 6 point, no, sorry, it is mango. Okay, because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I hope you got it, right? Any doubts up till now? Any doubts to anybody?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, thank you. Others?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. Fine. So
No, ma'am.
now, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the response. So here, whenever I'm going to write it down, say, I can do the slicing here, the thing that has been given here. Okay. Now slicing is given by colon. Have we used colon anywhere before? Do you remember? Have we used this colon operator? I mean to say this colon as this operator. Okay, how we use plus, minus, multiplication, division. So this colon, have we used anywhere? Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am. Conditions, ma'am.
Conditions and loops. So what is
Yes.
it known as? What is that colon known as there? Do you all remember? Anybody?
An operator.
Sorry?
Indentation operator.
Indentation operator. Okay. So this is the indentation operator there we used to speak. But now we are not going to speak about it as a indentation operator. But now in case of list, this colon as slicing operator plays an important role. Okay, so don't think that now in loops and conditions we used to use colon, so now it won't be used. No. There it is going to play a role of indenting the things, or whenever you want to indent your code. Okay, we spoke about it, about the scope. Okay, but here it is, whenever you are going to talk about the list, it is going to play a role of slicing. Now let's look at this. So here the example has been given, if you can see. Now this is the list that has been given. Yeah, one more thing I would like to tell you. Now this particular PPT or the PDF would be shared with you. Okay, you might have a you might do that in such a way that copy this and paste it here. There are chances that the character coding of the Word doc, or maybe the Excel, or maybe PowerPoint is different than whatever we do in Python or maybe Jupyter Notebook. So your character in the single quotes or the double quotes would look different. Okay, so please give them properly again. Okay, in your Jupyter Notebook or maybe Python idle, and then run it, otherwise it will give you an error. Okay, currently I don't think that it will be an issue. Let's see. I would take this only. See, my indentation has changed now. So now I made it properly, and see, again it is happening, right? So we need to understand all these things, right? So now I'll just copy and paste it, not an issue, right? So, okay. Okay. Now what is going to happen here? 0 to 4. Rather, you are looking at it as 0:4 or 0 slicing operator 4. But for me, as I'm using Python since many days or years, okay, I read it as 0 to 4. Actually, the meaning is like that only. Okay, it is going to read it as 0 to 4 only. Though here the slicing operator has been given, we are going to read it as 0 to 4. What is the meaning of it? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Now let's see what do I get the example. Okay, but whenever I am talking about say -2 colon -1, what would it be? -1 and then -2. Right? So here maybe whether B and E or whether only B, that we need to see. Okay, so I'll just execute this. Oh, just a minute, huh? Somebody is there on the door. Please give me 1 minute. So sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. So here what is happening, I'll have to check it whether the single quotes haven't come properly or what. Give me 1 minute. It is giving the same error or what? I'll have to check it. Give me 1 minute, huh? Yeah, see, I told you, I can see here, and now I saw, actually, I noticed. You can see here that single quote hasn't come properly. Can you see that? Now I'll have to delete it. Okay. And can you see? So this was the thing I was trying to tell you, that whenever you are trying to display the elements, okay, whenever you are going to copy and paste it from anywhere, fine, such problems occur. Okay, forget about it. So print list of 0 to 0 colon 4. What is the meaning of 0 colon 4 and why hasn't it taken E? Because it has started from 0 and then 1, then 2, then 3 and 4. Okay, but please keep it in mind, just like for loop, it doesn't take the last element. Do you remember the for loop, or shall I show you once? See, when I had told you that I want to display the table of 2, okay, we had given for n in range 2 comma 22 comma 2, right? But then why I had, actually I wanted table of 2, right, and up to 20. Why did I give here 22? Because it takes until prior element. In the same manner, here also the same thing happens. Okay, it takes until the prior element. So you are going to get the output as PROB. So it would be 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. But fourth one won't be displayed, and it would be 0, 1, 2, 3. That is 0 colon 4. Fine. In this manner, it is going to get displayed. And whenever you are talking about -2 colon -1, okay, please keep it in mind. The lower element has to be given first and then the higher element. I will show you that too, that particular part also. Okay, if I give 4 colon 0, or if I give -1 colon -2, what happens, that also I'll show you. But always keep it in mind, the the lower element first and then the higher element. So I hope you know -2 is less than -1. So I'm going to get, it is, though it is going to read it from here -1 and then -2, but it takes it doesn't take the last element. So it is going to show you only that B. Okay, I hope you got it. Now I'll just show you once. If any doubts are there, please write down in the chat. Otherwise, you can ask me. I don't mind. Until then. Okay. See, it gave me the empty bracket, empty list. Okay, means it didn't understand and it didn't give me the output, and that output was nothing but, and obviously it shouldn't be empty. But the thing is, what is happening here? We will not get the output because the first element should always be lesser and the later element should be more. See here also. So don't make the mistake and don't try to do like this where the first element is the lower one and the later element is the higher one. Okay. Any doubts to anybody until now?
No,
No
ma'am.
doubts, right? Is there anything in the chat? Okay, nothing. At this moment, nothing. Okay, so there were no doubts. Okay, Yamuna had written while loop works until the condition fails for loop based on the range given. Okay, fine. Rest of them are very busy in attendance, asking for the attendance. Okay, no problem. I can understand. Fine. Now there are certain list methods that are there. Okay, so we will talk about them from the another PPT. Give me 1 minute to open it. Okay. Uh, Okay. Now, instead of going ahead with the number of functions that are playing a very important role, we will talk about how they are mutable. This is very, very important point, and we must take a note of it. We shouldn't ignore that. Okay. So please keep it in mind. What do you mean by they are mutable? So I'm just going to show you now. Here, the lists are mutable, and we can change the elements from a list using the index operator. So if suppose I'm talking about some variable as lotto or whatever the variable as x, okay, and I'm talking to you that there are various elements, say 2, 14, 13, 41, 63, etc. When I'm going to print this, obviously with the brackets that's required, okay, all those elements would be displayed. But if suppose I don't want this to be printed, this 0, 1, and 2, that second element, whenever I want to say that this is 0 and this is first and this is second, okay, so this second element I want to replace instead of 13 with 26, right? I can write down that whatever the identifier I'm talking about, if the identifier is lotto, that is not going to make any sense as such. So lotto of 2 equal to 26. And then after that, print lotto if you are going to give, okay, with the brackets. Obviously, I will just execute this in front of you, not with this examples, with some another example. That's not a problem at all. We can see that the value has been changed, right? In this manner, they are mutable. Okay, and that's why we are able to execute the various functions. Okay, like append and then extend and then delete and then maybe insert. Okay, all the elements we can work upon. Okay, so here just I will execute this. Okay, now if I'm going to say list 1 equal to 7, 6, 5, 1, say A, say B, okay, and I'm saying here D, okay, they are my elements, and one more is there, suppose true, because I want you to get to know that we can give different types of elements, so I'm giving them nothing else. Okay, after that, if I'm saying say list 1, okay, list 1 of, if I'm saying here there is A, B, and there is D, that I want to replace this D with C. So can anybody tell me what is this? What is the index of this element D? Can anybody please suggest me on this?
5, ma'am.
Okay, so 0, 1, 2, sorry, 2, 3. I'm sorry. So here my screen, my mouse is giving problem. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, great. Okay, so list of 5, right? I want to give here, I told you that I want to replace that D with C. No problem. And then after that, I'm going to execute this. Fine. Do you want to display it? No problem. We can do that. So I'm going to write it down. Please print list 1 and list 1 of 5 equal to C. Let's execute this. Okay. The original list has been displayed here. All right. It has been printed, and then list 1 of 5. List 1 of 5 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has been replaced with C. In this manner, this mutability is very, very important to understand. Fine. And as this mutability is there, as we are able to change the element, or maybe replace, or maybe update, and maybe add. That's why we are able to we will be able to execute all these functions, or rather most of them. Okay, if it couldn't have been mutable, then the functions like append, or maybe extend, or maybe insert we will not be able to execute them. What is the meaning of the append? Adding an element to the end of the list. But if suppose my list is not mutable, if suppose list is tuple, assuming list is my tuple, okay, can I do append? No, not at all. Why? Because tuples are immutable and lists are mutable. That is the basic difference between the two. And we shouldn't forget this. Did you all understand? I'm just giving a lot of stress on it while telling you, because I want it to get registered in your brain forever. Okay, and this is very important question of the interviews also, wherever you go for the basic jobs in Python. I won't say that after the experience of say 4 or 5 years, if you appear for the job, if you appear for the interview, then you will get this question. No, not at all. But whenever you go for the internships and all, you would get this question surely. Okay, so that's what I was trying to tell you. Fine. Fine. I told you about this, so I don't have to talk to you all about it. Now lists are nested also. Okay, mutability we saw, but the lists are nested also. What do you mean by nested? Have we used this word nested before? And if yes, where? Have we used this particular word term nested before?
Yes, ma'am.
Where? Had we done just a minute? I don't know. I don't remember whether we had typed. Yes. Yes, we had. I mean, I had told you this. Can you see here? Give me 1 minute. Yeah. Can you see here? This if and this if. This if is nested inside this particular if, right? What is the meaning here? There is a nest. Okay. And in that particular nest, the later if has been accommodated. Okay, so in the same manner, we can have the nested list also. So if I am saying here, say nested list. Okay, and then we spoke about, I hope we spoke about the useful names that can be given to the identifiers, program names, etc. I can give here the list name as X or Y, right? But why am I not giving? Because nestedly list as the variable name or the identifier name is more apt here. Okay, so if I'm saying say 4, 5, and then say 1, I'm giving random numbers. Okay, and then here I'm giving say 7, 8. Here again I am writing one more list, say P and say Q. Okay, and after that I'm writing here say 56, and then I'm writing it down over here 2.3. Here I'm writing it down here as X, and then I'm giving it here as false, so that all the elements are covered. I can say so. Fine. Now if I am going to print this particular nested list, Now there is only one, so I can give it without print. You can see here it has been printed something like this. Can you please tell me how many lists are here at this moment? How many lists you can see? How many lists you can see here? Can you please let me know? Are you typing it down in the chat and I'm not seeing? Is it like that?
3, ma'am.
3, right? Others, what do you want to say? Yes, Soumya, what do you want to say about it? Praveen, Roshan. 3 or 2
3, ma'am.
or 3? Everybody is saying 3 or just one person is saying and behind him or her the others are? Yes, there are 3. Why 3? Because this is main list. Okay. Inside that one more and one more. Okay. Please keep it in mind. If suppose I want to give, say, P and Q are the elements that are there in this particular list. Right. So if suppose I want to give one more list inside it, yes, I can give that. So that would be list inside list inside list. So you may please try wherever you get time. Okay. And after you get this particular Jupyter Notebook file. Okay. Now, how to get the elements from the inner list? Okay, or the nested list. So please keep it in mind. This is my 0th element. This is first and this is second. For sure, no problem. This would whole be third. Okay. Just this would be fourth. Okay. Then this would be fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Okay. So if I say, just a minute. List. Okay, how many elements you can see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you might have a doubt that how about the elements that are there inside the list, inside list 7, 8, PQ? What to do with them? Okay, because as they are covered list inside list, this particular element would be taken together as one. So this would be 0, 1, 2, and third, then fourth. That's what I was trying to tell you. So I'm using here len function, len. Okay, so we saw one function also automatically. Right? In addition to that, so if suppose I want to say this nested list, and then I want to go to this particular 8 as an element and I want to display. So what is the index of this particular element? 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write down here 3, and then I'm interested in going for the 0th element. So I would write it down here 3, 3 rather 3 in one square bracket and 0 in another square bracket. Now you can get 7. What is the meaning of that? What did I give here? This is 3. Okay, this is third. To all together, this is third element, and I want the list inside list, right? So 0th element, and this would be the first element. And if I say here, can you see here 8? Got it? And I hope there are no problems. Now I want the answer from you. I want to display Q. I want to display the element Q. What should be my command?
4, 1, ma'am.
Sure?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, just a minute. I will type it down. You said 4, 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, so I hope you understood and others also must have understood it. So this is something about the nested list. Okay, list is a big topic actually. It's really not possible to complete them in one session because a lot of things are there. Okay, now when you talk about the strings, okay, they are also known as the character list. Okay, so if I am giving here, say, x equal to, again, Python. Okay, Python language, if I say so. Okay, and if I'm going to say here print x of, yeah, x of 1 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so I'm going to write it down something like this. You can see here n. What is the meaning? 0 1 2 3 4 5. 5 is n. Okay, but if I say print x of say 8. Okay, can anybody please tell me what would be the output? Are you counting currently?
Yeah, ma'am.
A. Okay. Others would like to say anything on this? Others would like to say anything on this? Here it would be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. One space 7 8. Right? So A is correct and it would be displayed. So I hope you got it how to give the character list also. But please keep it in mind, the character list is not mutable. Huh? So if I say here x of, I will show you that. So x of 0, no, x of 6 I meant to say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. In this space, say I want to give here, say B for blank. Okay, it will give me an error. What is the error? STR object does not support item assignment. What is the meaning of this? The item assignment means x of 6 equal to B. This assignment is happening, right? This is not allowed. Why? Because it's a string. So please keep it in mind. Strings are not mutable. Tuples are not mutable. That we will see later. But lists are mutable. Now you might have a doubt. Madam said that sorry, strings are nothing but the character list. Then why the lists are not mutable? Because they are character list. Because we are talking about the characters over there. And all the elements are part of one single string. They are written one after another. Okay. If suppose I write it down, Python single quote, single quote Python single quote comma single quote language single quote as two different elements in the list, then I can do the change. Okay, so what do I want to say? Suppose instead of this, I write it down here. Suppose here instead of x, I will say here y. I will give the brackets. I would complete this. I will give comma. I will give here single quote. Okay, completed. Right? And now I'm saying 0 1. So y of, sorry, y of 1 equal to scripting. Instead of language, I want to write down here scripting. Right? And then I would say here y. Instead of that, I would write down here print y. Can you see? Python language was there initially, and later on I said 0 1 language with. So what is the difference between the two? One was a string and another is a list. Okay, I hope you understood. Now we can proceed. Sorry. We will talk about this, or you can try all these things on your own. The things are same actually. That if ever I'm saying, suppose here, if I'm talking about this as X, and if I execute this, okay, and now after that, if I'm going to write it down, say X of 3 colon 4. No, I will give bigger range. Okay, say X of 3 colon 6. It will be showing me HON because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is going to happen. Don't worry. Okay, or if I am going to say X of -1. Okay, it is going to show me E. Okay, this is going to happen. So all these things you can try on your own. Now we will just try the first two, append and count, and then maybe we can stop and then we can continue next time. Okay. So here, what do you mean by append and what do you mean by count? Okay, append, add an element to the end of the list, and count is returning the number of items. So here in this my PPT I have given already. Okay, this is, I'll just explain you and then I'll execute with the examples which I have considering already. So list equal to say who and hello, or if I say hi and hello, fine. And I'm going to write it down, list dot append welcome. Means I want to add this later. Fine. What would it be? Hi. It would be hi, hello, and welcome. Got it? So in this manner, I can add or append. The meaning of the append is adding it at the end. Okay, and that whatever the element you are trying to append can be number, integer, or any other list also. Okay, so here you are supposed to write it down, that particular list dot append. So let me take my prior list, say y. I'm talking about y. Okay, and then I'm going to write it down here, say y dot append. Okay, and I'm going to write it down here, say interesting. Right? Initially, what was y? Y is this, and then print y. So I can see here Python scripting interesting. Can you see that? But please keep it in mind, we can only pass a single parameter. Currently, yeah, we are supposed to. But if suppose you say that, no, I want to pass many parameters, you can make use of for loop that time. Okay, think about it. How would be your for loop look like? And how would you be giving this for loop? Okay, so this is about the append. Now, whenever I'm talking about the count, this count means how many times that particular element is occurring in that particular list. So if I say y dot, say I'm saying here count, say I, because really in my this list I can see many I are there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. So let me execute. Y dot count of I. It's what is y my? Y is I, right? What is my y, by the way, currently? Python interesting, scripting interesting. Okay, automatically is it going to take? Okay, the first element looks like fine. Let me check with the other string, other list. Give me 1 minute. What was my other list? Nested list, right? And one more was there, right? List 1. Okay. Let me try with that and then I'll come to the conclusion. List 1. Okay. And then I'll write it down. List 1 dot count of I is not there. A. Okay, can you see here? Now, why had I got the output as, where was it? Where is it? 0, right? Huh. because it took the first element. So if you want, in Python, there is no I, no, right? But if I say here, instead of this, y dot count of y, instead of this, I will give here print, right? And here I will give print again, right? Let's execute. Why is it not giving? Okay, it is looking at a single element as I in it. Let me make more changes into it to solve all the doubts. Y dot append. What was it? Yeah, I. Okay. And I will say print Y. And then I would be writing it down. Print Y dot count of I. So sorry. Now let's execute. Got it? Okay. So it is going to take it as a single element together as a single element. It is not going to peep into that particular element. Okay. If it is a single element, it will take it. But it is not going to peep it into that particular element as it's a string. It is not a single element. I meant to say it doesn't have a single character in it or a single number in it. Okay. Here also the same case. Here also the same case. But later on, what did I do? I appended I specifically as a single character in the end. And then I said print y dot count of I, it gave me 1. I hope you got it. But here it gave 0, here it gave 0. That is one thing. Now I want something from you. If I say y dot count of, say I, sorry. And please keep it in mind whenever we are giving any function, the parenthesis has to be used. Okay. So I hope you understood why two parentheses have been given. One is of print and one is for count, because both are functions. It is function inside function. Nested function you can call it as. Okay. What would be the output of this? What would be the output of this? The last one. No output. No output would come. 0 would come or 1 would come or nothing would come. What would it be?
1, ma'am.
Sure? This is small I, this is capital I.
1, ma'am.
But how many? Why 1? Is Python case sensitive or not case sensitive? Python is a case sensitive programming language or it is not a case sensitive programming language? I'm waiting for the reply because this is very important to know.
It is case sensitive.
It is case sensitive, right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
is this and this I same?
0 only, ma'am.
Got it? 0. Understood? So
Yes,
don't make
ma'am.
such mistakes. I hope you won't. Nobody would. Okay. So we saw the two functions, append and count, and rest of the functions we would see in the later session. I hope that's okay. Any doubts today? Because we have done a lot of things, to be very frank. So what all things we learned today? Can you please quickly tell me? Can you please summarize this? Anybody? Or write down in the chat, I don't mind. What all things we saw today? I'm looking at the chat also, not an issue. Or you can speak. We saw the list, right? After that, we talked about single identifier. Difference between the identifier and the collection. We spoke about the 3 types of collections. What were they? What 3 types we talked about? List, tuple, and dictionary. Nobody is speaking and only I am speaking. Not good. Later on, we spoke about the features of list. The list can be given in square brackets, separated by comma. The list inside list can be given. Whenever we start with the counting of the list, it starts from 0, from the first, I meant to say the front end. Whenever we start from the back end, I meant to say the rear end, it starts from -1. Okay, and then later on we spoke about the mutability, how we can change the elements, and then we spoke about the 2 functions, that is append and count. Any doubts? Okay,
No, ma'am.
thank you so much. No doubts, right? But I only revise everything, I only summarize everything, so this is not fair at all. Okay, thank you. See you in the next session, and bye. And I hope you would tell your friends that they need to attend the session.